My name's Lynn. For those of you who don't know, I'm uh, one of the teachers here at Urban, and I came here from Virginia, from the East Coast. I'm a mom and a grandmom, and I spent many years living and working at Integral Yoga, Satchidananda Ashram. So I have a really traditional training and teaching. Just welcome, and just let's all get into a nice, comfortable seated position. I'm just going to make a reminder about the classes that we're on Zoom. Classes are all through urbanyoga.org, and you can go online if you want to pay or make donations. They're accepting donations through the website there. And again, through DAP, we'll be opening up more classes. So everyone just come to a really comfortable, easy seated position, something you can just let go. And I'm just going to start with a gentle grounding. You can close the eyes if that feels comfortable. Just soften the gaze, letting the hands come to rest anywhere that feels comfortable for you. Nice and open and easy. And let's just take a few breaths. You can sigh, release, letting all the weight of the world, of the mind, of the body just melt away. Feeling heavy, supported, seated. And let the awareness really drop into the hips, the legs, the glutes, and feel connected. And taking a nice, slow breath, allowing the body to ground with the earth beneath us, supporting us. And we'll just take a few more breaths, really allowing the body to release, connect even deeper with the earth, grounding, feeling rooted, solid, allowing the mind as well to soften into the body, ground, and the breath is easy. And then we're going to inhale and allow that earth energy, the desert, to rise up through the body, elongating, sitting taller, filling the hips, the legs, the sacrum, feeling strong and rooted. We're going to allow the energy to move through the body, along the spine, feeling the body lengthening through the navel and solar plexus. Inhaling into the rib cage, chest expanding, let the heart open, shoulder blades, collarbones soft. Inhale, elongating the neck, the throat relaxed, jaw soft. Face softens, eyes, awareness drifting right between the brows, third eye, and then sitting even taller. Take our last breath in right to the crown at the top of the skull. Feeling expanded and grounded at the same time. Just take a breath or two right here. Bring the hands to prayer at the heart, the palms press. And you can place an intention for your practice this morning or focus. Together we'll seal our intentions, chanting the sound Om together, cosmic sound of creation. So inhale for Om. Om. Just gently lower the hands. Keep that soft, gentle inner focus. We're going to start with shoulder rolls. Just start to open the upper part of the body, the chest, the throat, the upper back and shoulders. You can start to move the head and neck. Notice what feels good. Try to put the shoulders through that full range of motion and really notice any areas that are tight. You can move a little slower through there to really get into the body. What are the messages? What is it telling us? And then go the opposite. Notice that you're different on different sides in different ways. It's really normal. Notice that when you rotate your joints, you lubricate them, you prepare them for motion. If you have any joint problems, rotations, gentle rotations are really good practice. Maintains that range of motion. So now let's inhale the arms high, wide, overhead. Really fill the body. Go ahead and interlace the fingers, pointing the index fingers if it's comfortable. Reminds you to keep that grounded seat and extend from the sacrum right to the crown. We'll inhale, elongate, and then exhale, release to the right. Opening that left side, charging the left side of the body. Keeping both sits bones grounded, and we'll just take a breath or two here. Just open, peer around that left arm, elbow. Soften a little more. And then inhale. Come on back to center. Stay nice and long. Kind of wobble. Make any adjustments that your hips or shoulders might need. And then we're going to inhale and elongate again. Reach up and then exhale to the opposite side. Opening the right side. Feeling the right side elongate. Innervate. Seated half moon pose. Find a little more release, staying grounded, seated. And then inhale, come on to all fours. We're going to move into gentle cat-cow vinyasa. Vinyasa, the movement with breath. Keeping the tops of the feet pressed so the spine is nice and neutral and long here. Go ahead and loosen up the head and neck. Remind the spine to stay long. And then we're just going to breathe, and we're going to look up when we inhale, releasing the lower spine, and then press into the hands and feet on our exhalations and stretch out, release the full spine, and then inhale, come on back. Let's just move with our breath. We're going to move in and out of cat cow, working our spine, warming it up, looking up. We release and exhale down. Remind the head and neck to soften, release, kind of wiggle the hips a little. Help move that energy and do 3 or 4 more rounds. Just notice stimulating the entire nervous system here. We're working the spine vertebra by vertebra. Open up. Keep the breath flowing beautifully, smooth, easy. Really press into the hands. Let that spine release. And then coming to the top of your next inhalation, go ahead and look up. Let the big toes come together. The knees can go wide, and we're going to release. Bow forward into an extended child's pose. Forehead comes to the back. Allow the third eye to connect, and let's take a deep breath here. And exhale and just soften. Let all the energy flow and ground. Child's pose is a grounding pose. It connects us to the earth. It shows us that when we get closer physically to the earth, we naturally become more grounded. Take a nice breath or two more. Really release. Feel the spine soften in. And then gently inhale, using the hands, press yourselves back up to seated. And then we're going to come to a standing position right at the top of the mat. So coming into Tadasana, into mountain pose, we're going to work through another vinyasa, Surya Namaskaram, or salutations to the sun. So mountain is a great pose to use to really get in touch with the body. It's the basis for all of our standing poses, and it kind of can show you where you're off balance in the body. We want to kind of try to be right in the middle of the balls of the feet and feeling grounded, and then still that expansion. So the shoulders release. Just take a few breaths right here. It's a very grounding and strengthening asana. So we'll do 3 rounds. We'll just offer variations as we move through the vinyasa. So grounding, elongating, and we inhale the arms wide overhead. Fingertips meet, and we back bend. And exhale, gently fold forward, flow down nice. And just exhale and hang, let go, let the back of the legs just release. Then we're going to inhale our fingertips to shins, come part way up, gaze forward. And then release again. Hands alongside the feet. First, stepping the left foot back to the lunge, and we look up. We bring our right foot back to meet the left into downward facing dog. Go ahead and bicycle the knees here if you need to. Gently opening up the back of the body. Press into the hands in downward dog. Release the head in there. Kind of rock it, yes and no. Let it soften. And then rise into the hips and the sit bones. The backs of the knees softening, opening, and the heels will gently lower. Just breathe. Keep releasing that head and neck. Find the rest here. Pressing into the hands. And then gaze forward between the hands. We prepare to lower knees, chest, chin, 8-point pose, and then press into cobra. You want to really work that lower back here. Chest and heart open. Really see the shoulders melting back and down. And then we'll press into the hands and feet again, back into downward dog. Take a deep breath or two, releasing, open the hips, open the back, the knees, at the hamstrings, the calves. And then gaze forward between the hands, stepping the left foot forward. We look up. And then we step the right to meet the left. Exhale, surrender, just hang, let go. And then deep inhalation.
Load up. Again, fill the body. Hands meet. Gently trace your midline back to your heart. Take a deep breath here. And release back into Tadasana. Just let the effects of that practice move through the body. And we'll prepare for round two. So grounding and elongating. Inhale wide, hands overhead, fingertips meet, gentle back bend. And then float down. Exhale, just hang, release here, let it go. And then inhale our fingertips to shins, elongate, release the back of the leg. Gaze forward and then release. Hands beside the feet. This time, we step the right foot back. And look up. Bring the left foot back to meet the right. Do a few breaths here in downward dog. If anyone wants to take their practice deeper and moving into three-legged dog, starting with the right leg, just hang out in downward dog if that's where you want to remain. It's okay. Make sure if you're in three-legged dog that you're pressing both hands equally. The right foot toward the trees behind you. We'll bring the right foot back down, bicycle the knees, and then bring the left. Pressing into both hands, activate that right arm. A few breaths. Release. Bring the left foot back down. Pressing the hands forward one more time, and then gaze forward between the legs, between the hands. And we lower. Knees, chest, chin, pressing into cobra. Open that heart here. Release that head and neck. Really let it go. Take a few breaths. And again, press back. Downward dog. Opening up here again. Feeling the shoulders and the heart opening. And gaze forward again. This time stepping the right foot forward. Look up. Bring the left to meet the right. And surrender. Float. And then we inhale and rise. Come on, back up. Let the fingertips meet. Tracing our midline to the heart. And then grounding back into Tadasana. Feel the effects of your practice. Let that energy, the warmth, move everywhere. And we'll do our third and final round. We'll go just a little quicker. We'll inhale, arms high overhead, fingertips meet and back bend. Exhale, fold forward and just hang, let it go. Inhale, fingertips to shins, come part way up, gaze forward. And then exhale again, hands beside the feet, stepping again the left foot back. And look up. Bring the right foot back to meet the left. Pressing into downward dog. Release the head and neck. Allow the hips to rise and open here. Chest and heart expanding. And then gaze between the hands, lowering knees, chest, chin into cobra. Beautiful. Heart open. Throat open. Breath is steady, easy. And then press again. Back into downward dog. Our last one. Let the head and neck go. Spine. And and gaze forward, stepping the left foot forward.
Between the hands and gaze up. Right foot meets left. Exhale. And inhale. Float up.
Trace the midline. Take a nice deep cleansing breath. Tadasana. We've worked our body every direction now. Warm up. Settled, focused. Come to laying down on your bellies.
And you'll want to turn your cheek
Each side, just to let the spine release. Kind of rock your hips out. Advasana. This is prone pose. We're going to do a series of back bends to open up and really work on that curvature of the spine. Most of the pain or the problems in the back with the upper and lower spine, we can work on them here in back bends and bring them back to the natural curvature. So we're going to start with Bhujangasana with Cobra. So to begin, bring the feet together. Bring your feet all the way up to the hips in alignment and create your base there from the pelvis, the lower abdomen, all the way to the tips of the toes. That's what we're going to use to help lift us. And then we're going to bring our hands alongside the body, fingertips in line with the shoulders, elbows high and tight. And go ahead and bring the forehead to the mat. Neck is nice and long. And go ahead and roll the shoulders back and down. Remind yourself. And exhale. And inhale and rise. Pressing up. Opening the heart. Coming to just where you could pick up the hands and stay there. And keep opening through that. Really get that sensation between the shoulder blades of opening. Allowing that beautiful upper back and cervical spine to release. See all that tension now. And then just exhale and come on back down. Forehead to the mat. Go ahead and turn the cheek. We're going to do one more round. Turn the cheek side to side. Let both sides of your neck soften. And we're going to do it again with legs in line. Make our nice solid base. Correct our hands if we need to. Tight elbows, shoulder blades back and down. Third eye to the mat, exhaling. And then inhale and float back down. You know exactly where to focus now. Imagine between the shoulder blades right through to your heart. Really engage your imagination. It's just your mind. It helps you really focus. And then when you're ready, you just gently exhale and come on back down. Let the hands release. You can rock your legs. You take a few deep breaths here and allow that upper spine to fill back up with breath, prana, blood, oxygen. So now we're going to do another back bend working the lower spine. We're going to do Salabhasana and Ardha Salabhasana. So to begin, you're going to take your arms and you're going to rock them underneath the body. So your hands are right in on the inner thighs. And that's going to be, your base is going to be from your chin pretty much to your hands, to your pelvis there. And we're going to work each leg independently and then together. So find comfort in this base. So it's awkward. Make sure that you get yourself positioned that you feel comfortable and you understand your base. So we're going to work the right leg first. And we're going to inhale. And we exhale and we extend the right leg back behind us. Just point it towards the trees. I'm pointing towards the mountain. So point it back behind you And then we just gently rise as much as we can keep extending. Try to focus more on releasing out of the hip. Pressing both hip bones down so that you're really coming out of there, and feel that right lower back, that lumbar area, just release all of its tension there. If we sit, if we drive, we collect so much tension here. If any sciatic, imagine we're squeezing it out. And when you're ready, you just exhale and just lower slowly. And a rock, you can turn your cheek, take a nice breath, and we'll prepare to work on the left side. When you're ready, the chin comes back to the mat. Bring awareness onto the left side. And again, we're going to extend out of the hip, back behind us, pointing. And when you're ready, you need to just come up a little bit. Notice if you can keep extending. Just come to wherever you have sensation. Let that lower back soften, realigning its curvature. Feel the breath going right there. A little more extension, a little more release. When you're ready, we float back down. And take a nice deep breath. Feeling the left side soft now, right? Now we're going to work both legs. So go ahead and realign the hands. Make any adjustments you might need. Bringing the chin to the mat. And we're going to take a nice deep breath in. And then we exhale and press both legs back. Extend them out of the hip. And we raise them just enough that we feel we're opening up that back. Realigning the curvature in the sacral and lumbar spine. Stay with your breath. Stay really inner focused. Dig deep. And whenever you are ready, when you just are ready, you just exhale and softly lower. Release the arms. And take a few breaths. That's really hard work and extremely beneficial to the spine. We're going to do one more back bend. We're going to work the whole spine. We'll work slowly. Some of you already do this practice and you know it. If you've had any joint issues, just be very careful, move slow. You can find release in every level, and you can always find a deeper connection to yourself and breath. So first we're going to bend our knees. And as long as that's comfortable, we'll reach back and we'll take a hold of our ankles or our feet, wherever we're at. Come to a nice, comfortable place. You can put the chin back on the neck, on the mat just to begin with. And we're going to inhale. And if you're ready and want to go deeper, we press the feet into the hands and we raise. Opening that heart and the lower spine at the same time. Go ahead and release. If you feel like making movements with the head and neck, if that feels good, go for it. Try to release along the shoulders, the chest, the lower back. Find a little more openness. And whenever you're ready, whenever you need to come out, you just softly exhale, float back down. And take a breath or two right here. Let the spine soften. Working it in the opposite direction than it gets all the time. This spine will thank you. Make sure you turn your head so the neck is nice and easy. And then we're going to bring our hands alongside the body. And just really gently press back into child's pose first. Just kind of walk yourself. Be nice and easy with your spine. Keeping the head and neck soft so you don't move too quickly. Really stretched and opened up those areas. Back bends are very powerful and very healing. And then using your hands, go ahead and press yourself back up to seated. Feel good, right? So much for shade. Well, and it moves. So imagine that. So let's extend our legs. Let's come into staff. And we're gonna continue working the whole body. We're gonna do forward bends now. We've worked the spine backwards, the hips backwards, and now we're gonna go work them the opposite direction so we get a beautiful counter to all of our asana work today. So head to knee pose. We're gonna begin in staff, and in staff, I love to remind people that we really need to activate from the knees down. That even if we have a really solid core, sitting really tall and actually being at a 90-degree, which is so easy to sink into, just be aware of it and know that that will help. Absolutely, and to engage, even if you're in good shape, just so we never hurt that lower spine. It's delicate. So we're going to start releasing the right leg. We're going to bring the right foot in, connect it wherever it's comfortable with the left side, and then resit forward, whatever needs to adjust. Empowering this whole left leg. Inhale, sit tall. And then we're going to exhale and pressing our heart all the way to the toes. So you really get that idea of moving forward and then just come to release. Take a nice, big, deep breath and just let it sigh out, like let it go. Notice that the head and neck needs to be reminded to let go, to soften. It's just going to keep holding. You'll think you've released it, and then nope, it's working very hard for us all the time. So come to your edge and totally release here. We're just going to take a few breaths, allowing the entire left posterior, the left back of the body to open up from the heel to the knee to the hips, and then all the way to the crown. And go ahead and extending the arms and empowering that left leg and ankle. We're going to press and come on up. Rise. So we stay nice and tall. Beautiful. Release. Release the legs. Any movements. My feet love to rotate. So we're going to sit tall again, and we're going to switch sides. We're going to bring the left foot into the right inner thigh, sit tall again. Inhale, elongate, and then just press forward. Bow yourself forward on the right side. Come to your edge and then just soften. And again, just mindful that we're different in different ways. Notice what you feel. Your body's giving you tons of information. We want to be really open to it so we can work with it. Again, notice that the head and neck need gentle reminders to just take it easy for a minute. Keep reminding ourselves that. Just take it easy for a minute. Breathe. And then when you're ready, we'll extend the arms, pressing the right foot, and we'll rise. Nice and tall. Release. Release the legs. And we're going to do the whole body now. And these seated stretches like this are great. If any of you work at a desk, or we're all doing a lot more computer stuff, getting up from the desk and doing some of these seated stretches, I would recommend every day, especially when you start feeling it. And I'll tell you, even as a yoga teacher, I have to remind myself, like I'll get stiff and then I'm like, all right, get down and do your practice. So it's hard to always remember, but it'll make such a big difference
because it's been a challenging adjustment for a lot of us. So coming back into staff, we're gonna sit nice and tall, as if we put our hands here and we really are strong and solid like a staff, our spine. And then inhale, elongate, and then bow forward. Maybe you can grab your toes. Maybe you want to work with your breath, inhaling and extending a little bit more, and exhaling, surrendering, folding forward a little more deeply. Noticing what areas need your attention. Directing the breath. Take another breath, and 2 more here, and head toward me. Surrender. Really feel the entire back of the body lengthening, releasing, elongating. And then go ahead and extend the arms. Inhale, pressing the feet. Come on back to seat. Release the arms. And then we're going to do a nice spinal twist. And we'll do another one laying down. But we're going to start right here in staff. And we're going to start with the right leg first, crossing over the left. We'll just do a little setup. The trick is not to have the leg as tight, as close as possible, but to have it really as comfortable as possible. Imagine that we're pitching you like a tent, and your spine is the center pole, and it has to be straight. So this elaborate setup is also, we can isolate that little spine, just so you know why you're doing it. So we're going to take the left hand and we attach here, and feel it pull you up. Make sure that that's what you're doing, and that's the sensation you get, because when we twist our spine, we do spinal twist, we want it in line, because if we're bent, we're twisting it out of alignment. So we inhale the right arm high and just let it fall back as close to the sacrum as you can get it. Press the palm and use that to push you up. And so we'll inhale, and then we exhale and we twist to the right, starting in the abdomen, the rib cage, the shoulders, head and neck last, gazing over the right shoulder. And just keep imagining that you're twisting upward, like you're wringing out your spine. And we're squeezing everything out, opening it up. And a little more rotation, a little greater. And then we exhale and come on back. Head, neck, shoulders, abdomen. Beautiful, right? Release. Let it go. We're going to go the opposite. So we'll take the left leg and bring it over. Again, just find where you're comfortable. It's really more about like your, like just the length of your body and flexibility. Then we're going to bring the right arm and allow that to kind of pull us up tall. Bringing the left arm high, feeling the spine is nice and elongated, and we just drop it back. A little extra space for us there. So we inhale, and then we twist, starting in the abdomen into the rib cage, shoulders, neck. Gaze over the left shoulder this time, wringing the spine and the spinal column, the entire nervous system getting stimulated with our spinal twist. Keeping the breath steady. And then come on back, head, neck, arms, release. Beautiful. And then come to laying down on your back. You can pull the knees in right into the chest.
Go ahead and rock a little bit, opening up whatever you need to maybe release. You can take a hold of the soles of the feet and open up here into happy baby. Find a different kind of release. Pressing that sacrum and lower back into the mat. Trying to keep that pressed as we open so that you're really opening out of the hips. You're keeping that spine nice and straight. The whole sacral spine pressed down. Beautiful. And then bring our feet back to the mat. Knees bent. And we'll bring the soles of the feet together and allow the legs to fall wide. So we're opening up our inner adductor muscles here. If you want to place the hands on them to give a little bit of resistance, allow these long internal rotators of the thigh to realign, re-lengthen. Any lower back or sciatic issues, your back will love, your body will love you for doing these stretches with it. Passive, beautiful releases. So we'll do one more for the glutes and the hamstrings here. So bringing the knees back up. We're going to bring our right ankle to the left knee, making like a number 4 with the legs, kind of. So threading the needle. So make sure that your joints and everything are fine with doing this, especially that right knee. And if you're all good, we reach through. We take a hold of the left thigh and we pull it toward the chest. You can extend the left leg here and walk your hands up it. Coming to the foot, the ankle, wherever your edge is. And we want to feel this opening up, releasing the right glute, hamstrings. And let's take a few breaths here and really allow that largest muscle group there of our body to really release. Take a few breaths, allowing all 3 layers of the glute to soften here. Pigeon, this is an alternative to pigeon pose, which can be challenging. I love that this is such a passive, but it's deeply effective asana. Just breathe right into that right hip and glute. See it soften. Then go ahead and release that left foot. Let it come back to the mat. Release the right leg. You can extend the legs if you need to. And then bringing both feet back. Knees bent. We're going to work opposite side. Left ankle to right knee. Opening that left knee out beautifully, and then go ahead and reaching through, taking hold of the right side, pulling it towards the chest. Extending the right leg, walking your hands up. Noticing the sensations in the left hip. Opening, softening, letting the lower back connect to the mat. Directing the breath right into the left. And then gently release. Release the right foot back to the mat. Release the left. With the knees bent, we're going to do a really gentle spinal twist. So just lay the arms out, shoulder height, and just allow the knees to fall to the right. You can place the right hand on the left knee for a little help. And go ahead and gaze towards that left hand. Keeping both shoulders on the mat. Nice, soft release. Take another breath, a little more, and then exhale. Come on back to center. Kind of rock the hips here if you need, arms open wide. And we exhale, we release the legs to the left. Turning now to gaze to the right hand. Left hand coming to right knee. Gentle spinal twist. Keeping both shoulders, shoulder blades on the mat. And inhaling, come on back to center. And we're going to release the legs out, coming onto our backs into Shavasana, preparing for a gentle Yoga Nidra. Closing the eyes. The hands are alongside the body. Feet are relaxed. And take a nice deep breath in. Go ahead and part the lips. And sigh it out. We're going to do a scan of the body, the mind releasing as we go. So bring awareness into the toes, the tops of the feet and soles.